This is JusLegacy, and you're plugged into direct current.
How did you know that music was the thing for you? What made you decide to start performing?
This is funny. When I was a kid, well, I'm still a kid basically, but when I was in middle school, I wanted to be a producer. I don't know, I was always in love with like beats, and how I knew rapping was for me is that like I couldn't play an instrument, so like I had to do the second best thing, and that's rap. I wrote my first verse to Jay-Z's and Kanye's Otis. That was my first verse, and yeah, and then I decided to do the talent show when I was 13, and it's been up ever since.
And so I guess when you did it, it just felt like the right thing?
Yeah, just looking back on the video now, it was kind of crazy because, like, those things weren't taught to me. You know, the moving around on stage, the hand signals, the energy. Like, the video's on YouTube, but if you watch the other guy that was performing with me, he was just standing still, you know what I mean? And for me, not being taught to do something and me doing it kind of showed me a lot. And I wasn't nervous to do it either, which was really weird because it was my first time ever being in front of a crowd. And it was I was in 7th grade, so the whole 7th grade student body. And so, yeah.
Okay, so like that kind of goes to another thing I want to ask you. What makes a good performer?
Just people that could. What makes a good performer? It's a lot of things. I'm very in tune. Like, I be studying people, just people that perform. Even when I go to like regular shows in Jackson, I look for things like mic positioning and is there a lot of talking involved, because talking kills like the crowd a little bit. You know, they want to hear your music, they don't want to hear you like speak, you know.
It breaks the momentum.
Yeah, just breaks the momentum, especially for the people that talk a lot, like give these speeches before every song. Another thing that makes a great performer is your intention. Like, what is your intention behind this performance? Is it to gain fans? Is it for your music to be heard, for your message to be heard? Every time I do a performance, I set a goal. Like, what is my goal tonight? You know, what do I want people to feel? What do I want people to know? What do I want people to listen to? I view performances as like a conversation. So, what do I want from them, and what can they get from me? And so that what makes a good performer, just people that have intention, you know, the other stuff too, like the mic position and the crowd engagement, song choice for sure. You can't keep playing the same sounding song throughout the whole performance. Otherwise, again, like, people get tired, the momentum goes down. So
you got to pick the right songs for the venue.
Yeah, but also take risks too. It's a risk. Like the risks. Oh gosh, I'm messing up. Can you cut this part out? Take risks because you never know what could come out of that risk. You know, like tonight, it was sort of like a harder crowd. Like, the songs that people were performing were very hard, aggressive. You know,
they had an edge.
Yeah. So for me to be coming on my hippity hop, you know, the basic rap formula was kind of like different. It was a risk that I took, but I also let people choose my set. So.
Oh yeah, that's what you did.
Yeah.
When you perform, you always you go really into it emotionally. Is performing an act of catharsis for you?
Yes. And no, sometimes. It depends on the song. A lot of times it's kind of like, you know, I know what I want to do. I know how I want to do it. But sometimes I feel it. At the Jackson Indie Music Week show, I did Let It Go. And at the end of the verse, like if you watch the video, I did this like little shake and lifted my leg up. Like that was like all emotion, you know? That was not planned. That was not something I thought about doing, you know? And so it definitely, I feel it, and I feel it sometimes.
Andre shit like immediately. I ain't gonna do that, Andre. But if we do.
So,
Where you gonna be parked up here? I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's catharsis. Sometimes not, you know? Most times it is, though. It's very, like, I like emotional songs, and I like people to, you know, feel them.
so that intensity, it comes out of the emotion. Is it something that you think about going into it? Is it just something you just feel once you get like behind the mic?
When you're in practice, when you practicing for the show and stuff, I don't think you ever, like, even when people say give your 100%, you're never really giving your 100% because you don't have a crowd in front of you. So when I'm performing these songs, like, it's different, totally different from practice. I have a crowd, the crowd's feedback, the emotions just take over sometimes. Like in the song I Walk in My Shoes that I did today, it definitely took over. You know, I stopped rapping because it was just such a message, a powerful song.
When that happens, do you ever feel like any reluctance to like pull back, or do you lean into it more? Do you let it happen?
Yeah, I definitely let that happen. Because, you know, I want the people to know, like, this is not about, you know, perfection. It's about honesty. So I want to give you the whole and honest experience. So when you play this song or watch this performance, you understand, like, wow, he's really emotionally invested.
Do you consider yourself a poet?
No, not really. I feel like poets, they are very, very particular about their work. They care so much, and I feel like it would be a disservice to what they've been working so hard for, to call myself a poet.
But you kind of are, though.
I mean, technically, but I did do poetry when I was younger, but I wouldn't consider myself a poet. I just consider myself somebody that's had experiences, honest experiences, and just giving it to the world. I think of myself as a writer.
Okay.
That's a popular thing to say. I was watching the Kendrick Lamar interview. He said the same thing. And, you know, I feel like that's really important. Like, we're writers, not necessarily poets, not putting a, like, limit on what we do.
Having free range with the medium.
Yeah. I could write a book, write a short film, write a movie, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I feel like poet is putting you in a box. And so, we're writers.
Dre Dice is your mentor. Talk about that relationship, how he took you under his wing, and some things you learned from him.
Man, it's funny because, like, in Outspoken, we get to choose our mentors, and I chose Dre. Not like for the rapping, you know. Like, I could have chosen a lot of people, you know. Like, I would have chosen Flu if I wanted to be a better rapper, but Dre has, like, the whole package, the media thing going on, the shows, how to promote yourself, how to, you know, groom yourself for these shows. He's actually, every show I've done so far, he's had like a hand in, you know, a little bit. So except for this one. Fresco reached out to me, but every other show, Dre has his hand in it, and he just, well, I won't say that. He just guides me along the way for these shows and what to do in these positions, and just tells me that, like, I got it. That's, you know, you got the talent. I'm just trying to help you be in these better positions so other people can see that you have it. So I appreciate Dre so much. That's my, like, guy for sure.
You're part of a pretty big creative community, though. Like, how does that? What are the benefits of that for you? Like, has being surrounded by other artists help you be a better artist, or help you stay in touch with creating?
Yeah, I'm inspired by everything, everybody, especially outspoken. Brian's my roommate, Brian Lewis, and we're doing this song challenge every day, like, basically. Like, we have to write this song, record this song in an hour. No matter if it's, like, freestyle, no matter if it's written, that's what we do. And so just being around him and having that creative energy definitely helped both of us out. We're becoming faster writers, becoming better writers. And then just the people outside of I've spoken to. Yeah. And big shout out to Parker that just dropped this project. That actually pushed mine back a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, him dropping his stuff made me feel like, yo, I gotta get back in the studio. So I'm getting back to the whole new project stuff, you know, taking my time, working on my stuff a little more. So yeah, they push you to be creative. They push you. The competition push you. Yeah. What was the question again?
Just what's strengthened about you as a performer? What have you gotten better at? What's a sharper skill that you have?
I've gotten as a performer. I'm not sure. I think you would have to ask the people that's watched my performances.
But what do you feel good about? What do you know? What are you confident about as yourself as a performer, as an artist? What do you feel like you bring, whether it's writing, recording, anything, in any aspect of creativity?
I feel like I bring the emotion that's needed, you know? Like, I felt that sometimes, I feel like sometimes in these shows and in the music, you lose that, you know? People are focused on the singles more than anything, and half of my set was me rapping about what I've been through, you know? So I think I bring the emotion, I bring the vulnerability, and that's what I'm confident in. You know, that's why I choose to take risks with all of these songs that are, like, primarily just rapping, not much melody, because I feel like the crowd understands, like, what I'm going through, and I feel like they react to everything. So